It was so cold last night. My garden sensor said it was 32.79, but I think it's not quite calibrated right because there is no evidence of frost yet. Welcome to Scofield Farm. Today I am going to share with you some videos that I have recorded over the last week and a half. My phone, which I do most of my recording on, has been full, so I've been doing a lot of stuff on our homestead, in our garden, in the kitchen, and I haven't got to share it with you. So I'm going to compile a bunch of different videos just to kind of show what's been going on in November and how much has been changing and how much we are doing. We have not got frost yet, as you can see with the flowers in the background. It almost hit there last night, or actually early this morning. So I know it's gonna happen anytime now. We are end of November, almost Thanksgiving, and let's just dive in. I'm gonna show you us working with the bees a little bit. We're getting them ready for winter. I'm gonna show you some stuff I'm working on in the house, both crafting and some projects. We do a Christmas market every December, the first Saturday of December, where we sell some of our home crafted goods. And I've been working on transitioning the garden. It's got a ways to go because I do let things keep blooming for the bees that we keep. But we're getting there little by little, baby step by baby step. Let's just dive in and I will share with you the stuff that we've been doing. I have so much to do right now. We have Christmas starting to go up. I have so many things dehydrating and getting ready for a Christmas fair. I do lots of stuff on the shelves, but I want to go out and check my garden because we have not had frost yet and I know I have stuff to deal with. The garden is definitely alive. Some of it has been prettier at other times than now, but it is alive. I have a lot of planting left to do and a lot of harvesting left to do. The sweet potatoes look really good. And I don't usually harvest those till right after frost. That's kind of my thing. I am hoping to plant some stuff here tomorrow, maybe like kale or something. And I also have these brassicas I already planted that are doing pretty good. I chopped and dropped a lot of the bean plants, but I have obviously, as you can see, a lot left to go. We worked a little bit with our bees today and we actually eliminated one of the supers, and then we eliminated one of the deeps. So we'll have two deeps for them to overwinter. They're doing really well. But we put on some frames to help them clean up some stuff that we spun. And I will show you a little bit of that right now. It is November 22nd. We are going to take the super off this finally. We have not had frost yet this year. It has been wet and rainy, but the bees are doing pretty good. Let's see. There's a lot of in and out activity. I see pollen saddles full, so that is great. So we're going to make this a little bit smaller for them as we go into winter. We do not have a harsh winter. We are zone 9B, but still it's a very wet winter. So we want less room for condensation for them and just less area they have to take care of. So we have all of our super frames. It's nice. They're built out. A lot of them have nectar, but not capped off honey, but not even that much nectar. So we're gonna freeze them, then put them in a old fridge that's not plugged in for the winter so that rats and rodents don't get in them. And the bees will have a head start. Next spring, they'll already have built out frames, which is great. We have these frames that we spun that we want them to clean up. And we do have a few nicer days left, so we can put those on, let them clean them up, and then freeze these and save those for the springtime. We got to eliminate, hopefully, one of these deeps. I'm going to try to figure out which one we're eliminating and which ones we keep on. Yeah. This box, this deep, has definitely got more capped honey than the top one. The top one had a lot of pollen and they were working on honey. This one has got a ton of capped honey, and then even that outer one has nectar and stuff and starting to cap it. I think this is probably the one over here that we're going to eliminate. Let me show you on the frame so you can see what I'm talking about. Get it up one-handed. All right. So see, they're working on stuff. There's definitely pollen, maybe a little bit of bee bread, but it's not as full of resources. So I think we will freeze this one and give it back to them. When we need it, we actually are able to check our bees throughout the winter on nice days. so we can freeze that and monitor it as resources for them. We're gonna check the bottom deep, make sure that we have, oh my goodness, uh-oh. They weren't happy. I think the blues out there, they just went kind of crazy right there, Bill. Probably should have smoked them first. Yeah, that is definitely the one that we are thinking there must be eggs, larvae, which is kind of how we want them. We want them down low to be the bottom one. That way they can move up for resources through the winter. So what I did is I changed out the frames that we spun, and they have like remnants of honey in them, and they're going to clean that up. And then we will take that box off after they clean them up, and we will freeze those frames. We're not going to leave that there all winter. And then these are the ones left that we're going to put in the freezer. They had pollen, some bee bread, but they honestly had more resources in that second deep. So I feel good about this. I am so glad we combined these two colonies. I think they're much stronger. I mean, it's very obvious. They're much stronger. Honestly, downsizing, simplifying for the winter, praying and hoping that they make it. We've had colonies make it 2 years through winter, and then last year's our first year we didn't. So hoping this is a good year. I know bees are not the main reason people are subscribed to my channel, but that is one of the things I really enjoy to do on our homestead, and that I've learned a lot, though I'm not an expert at all. I've learned a lot, and I really enjoy sharing bits and pieces. So I think I'm going to work it more often into parts of my videos, and then you guys can see other homestead updates. You know, no frost yet, and so that's good for me because I've been so busy. I'm definitely behind in the garden. But what really is behind? We're just comparing to other people or to even our past seasons. There's no rush if it is still producing and growing. I'm trying to get tomatillos right now as I talk to you because I would love to have at least one more salsa verde before the season is over. There's a lot of them that are not quite ready to pick. They're getting closer, and I want to like let them kind of burst their little, what do I call them? They're almost like lantern kind of papers. And if they fall off, I'll take them. But if not, I'm just kind of feeling to see which ones feel about ready. Or obviously if they fall off on the ground, I'm going to take them as well. Sometimes there's a couple that are here. I just kind of look and see what might be ready and what might not be ready. That one looks pretty good. I said over on Instagram the other day that I am done keeping up with whatever pace I'm supposed to keep with doing the garden. I've planted 2 of my varieties of garlic and have 1 more left to plant. Have not planted out my shallots or my onions or most of my brassicas, really any of my lettuce or kales. And that's okay. I will do it when I'm ready. We garden year round. We grow food year round, which is great in our Northern California climate, zone 9B, but it's exhausting. And sometimes I just need a little grace for myself, and we're still gonna grow food, even if it's a little bit later, a little bit slower, a little bit smaller. It's okay. I have a lot to do this time of year, and I don't need to be going by any schedules online or other people. I just need to go by the schedule that works for my family and actually feeds our family, and that's what I've been doing. So I enjoy things like tomatillos, and then things like planting my garlic and stuff. I'm just doing as I go. I have beautiful flowers still. The wind has knocked a lot of them over, but we still are bringing bouquets inside, so it's very nice. We have eggplant that I actually need to harvest and cook. Quite a bit left. These are Black Beauty. You see at least 5 on this plant alone. We've got a couple more plants down there. So I think we'll have like Indian eggplant again before the season is over. That eggplant got huge right there. It's like almost like a tree. And I have a couple lettuce here that I planted out real quick. This one's kind of getting eaten by something. This one's hanging in there. And that one is finally growing a little bit. So yeah, I've got probably about 200 more inside I need to plant out of my lettuce when I get a chance. We still have green tomatoes. Are they going to change color out here? Look at that one. It's beautiful. Are they going to come inside? I think that's a Black Beauty. Probably change color inside, but I don't have time today to deal with all of it. So we're going to leave them on the vine as long as I actually can still delay it. My sun gold were kind of delayed this year. And so it's okay. I mean, it is what it is, but I haven't got to enjoy them fresh as much as I wanted. So I want to pick them when they're ready. Get to at least eat them inside. I have a lot that fell off, I think, in all the wind. We've had a lot of wind lately. If they're not bad, I just might bring these in. I don't know, you guys. There's so much abundance in the garden right now. And I'm very happy with how we combined our beehives. We're going to have one strong colony to make it through the winter, I sure hope. So we're just doing things, even though it's near the end of November, it's almost Thanksgiving. We're just doing things as we have time to get them done. And I am being happy with what God has provided and where we're at. It's like a flower jungle. This is part of why I'm not finished here. Oh wow, that one is really pretty. Look at this. It's like a fiery orangey red, and I really should save some of those seeds. Not a bad harvest for not actually fully planning to do a harvest right now. The compost pile over there is being added to slowly. Not actually ready to add to the garden yet, but that's okay. I've got to go back inside. Look at my hair. I've got to go back inside and make an apple crisp for our Thanksgiving. It's a early Thanksgiving with one side of my family. I would do more. I think we get frost in about a week, so hopefully tomorrow I'm going to start planting some of that kale and get that transition started a little better. But I'm pretty happy with this little harvest right here that was kind of a spare of the moment harvest. There is still a lot of abundance in the garden, a lot. Making apple crisp for our little Thanksgiving gathering. It's gonna be my topping. I love butter and spices and oats and coconut sugar. My secret ingredient is I put a little bit of lemon and cinnamon right on the apples before I put the topping on. That is my favorite way to do apple crisp. All right, it is the next day, and last night, I said yesterday that frost was probably a week away. Last night we got down to 36.5 in my garden. I do have a little, thermometer. So my husband is planting out kale for me. I am going around trying to pick some of the peppers and the glossy green tomatoes. And then, we may still have another week, or we may have like one night. And so I'm going to get what I can. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to at least get some of the stuff I can. Let me show you where we're planting. I think we have about 24 kale or so, and they're very small, but we're going to cover them with like tulle fabric from Joann's. So they're very small. They're little babies. They just did not get very big this year. See how tiny they are? But if we cover them with tulle, hopefully they will avoid like bird pressure, and then they'll be able to mature. That's kind of what we did last year. They were fairly small last year, but we got tons and tons of kale from the garden over the winter and spring, and I really like kale. I know some people hate kale, but I love kale, so I do like to grow that, and that's one main reason I do grow fall and winter gardens. These flowers, nasturtium, are very, very pretty. So I have some eggplant. I'm trying to go around and get stuff like that could, if frost does come a day or two early, I'll regret not having those. Picking a lot of peppers. We may not get every single one, but we're trying to do a good comb over, and then we'll come back and do it again if, each day that we avoid frost, because I think it's really soon. But it's warm enough right now. My bees, we keep bees, are all over the zinnia, and they're very happy. So it's really nice weather, even though our lows are getting down near the frost zone. All of these green shishito peppers, they like camouflage, and so I don't barely see them, but they're there. All right, so this is not even everything, but it's a lot. So hopefully it doesn't come tonight, and then we'll pick some more. So these are the bigger of my fall plants that we planted out. I did a video a few weeks ago. These are my tiny ones. They're babies, but you stick with me and you will see how much harvest we get from these little tiny, who knows why they're so small, but little tiny kale. I'm very excited to eat from this. It's one of my favorite things that we grow. And even though it's time for me to go in, I'm going to grab this Black Beauty just in case. Just in case it happens tonight, because it's not changed color, but it is glossy. And I want to taste this one so much. Didn't get a lot of heirlooms this year. This one will be delicious once it actually starts to blush. The stuff that I've worked on that I haven't showed you this month is so much harvest from the garden, as we are so very close to frost. This morning it was so cold. Not frost quite yet, but it could be tonight or tomorrow morning. There's just so much harvest, so many things. I also have my different spices and teas. I have my honeys that I finally processed and jarred up. I do a Christmas market first weekend of December. If you're local, let me know. All of my fun stuff: chamomile, garlic, oregano, lavender, lemon thyme, rosemary, just lots of stuff. Basils. These are salts that I sell. This is calendula to make a balm. I have so many goals of things I want to work on. But yeah, it's been a busy month, even without necessarily documenting all of it on video. I'm also planning on planting out the last of my 3 garlics. This is California Softneck White, or California White, Early White. And my shallots, I have my biggest ones that I saved for planting, and I'm just slowly improving on size. I love the flavor of these. They are kind of annoying to cook with because of peeling them, but if we get bigger and bigger ones, they will be more usable. Letting the bees clean out the honey spinner a little bit. A couple of them got a little too drowned in honey. Tried to put the stick there to see if it would help them gather honey without drowning. And I also have my bucket. We're pretty far from the hive, so it shouldn't induce robbing or anything, just have them clean it up. It was so cold last night. You can hear my gate shaking. It was so cold last night. My garden sensor said it was 32.79, but I think it's not quite calibrated right because there is no evidence of frost yet. We have been harvesting a lot. I showed you some of that stuff, so just in case, I know we're so low, we're basically there, but we are not there. So I keep letting the bees get the flowers, and I keep slowly planting out my cool weather stuff and slowly harvesting whatever remains. That is a volunteer bok choy. It's been pecked on by birds and stuff, but it's actually really big and beautiful for just being a volunteer. And my mess of zinnia, we're leaving them there till frost because our bees do like them, and it's a nectar and pollen source for them. So they're there in their messiness. This is where I had shallots last year. You can see one coming back that I must have missed. I think I'm gonna go ahead and plant a few here. I don't think it's necessarily the best place right by arch trellis for when I harvest, because then I disturb roots. So I might just kind of put it more on this little area. I'm only doing my 6 largest. If you've been around my videos very long, you know my motto is baby steps. And I've really needed to lean on this year because I felt actually sort of burnt out by the garden and by homesteading and by even the projects for like my Christmas fair. I've been working on them, but I've been so tired and just needing rest. So today I'm planting out the last of my 3 garlics that I grow. This is California Soft White. I'm gonna plant out 6 of my largest shallots, and they're French gray shallots, and I have a couple volunteering back up, but that's a pretty small task. I think there's like 54 garlic cloves, 6 shallots. I did a hard neck that I did not video, and I did a different soft knit called Lore's Italian, I think it's called. I did more of those. So overall, I should have like close to 300 heads of garlic, even though this one is the least, but this one just did not, for whatever reason, have as many cloves per head of garlic. I feel like I harvested them a little too early this year. So I'm just doing this, and I'm going to make room in this bed that still has a lot of life. It has eggplant, it has peppers, it has lots of Thai basil that I just sort of let go crazy. For the bees, I have more than enough Thai basil put up for the winter, so I'm just going to do this and call it a day. I have other stuff to plant, but I'm not going to do all that today. I'm just going to work on this chunk. This soil is beautiful. It is so rich just from years of building it up, and these wood chips make a huge difference in the soil health. When I'm done planting everything, I will definitely mulch. I picked the 6 largest, and then hopefully we will start getting bigger shallots because they're kind of hard to use when they're really small, but they are absolutely a delicacy in flavor. They're so good. So just tuck these in, fast, easy planting, not complicated, and there could be better spots, but since I have this one volunteering back right here, I'm gonna keep them all in the same general area. Next, I'm going to plant the garlic. I like to go around the edges of the bed. I do them like about 4-5 inches apart, and it helps me be able to interplant. I'll plant something else in the middle of the bed, like lettuce or kale or even beets. It gives room after I harvest the winter veggies, the cool weather veggies, to plant out tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, all the summer stuff, while we're still waiting for the garlic to mature and be able to harvest them right around Father's Day usually. In the evenings, since we have shorter daylight hours, I like to knit and work on homemade projects. I don't really knit in the summer. It's more of a cool weather, seasonal type of hobby for me. But then when it's daylight, especially if it's not raining, I like to be out in the garden, and I like to get the things planted or weeded or harvested and take advantage of getting that vitamin D at the same time that I work. I like to plant out my garlic on the edges of my bed. I like to do them checkerboard. Honestly, it's really nice to know, even if somehow I don't get the other things I intend to plant planted, I will have garlic next year. It's always a wonderful staple in our garden, and it feels like wonderful food security to know that we save our own garlic seed from our past garlic, and we're able just to replant and regenerate that year after year. It is such a comfort to know that that will always be there. When I plant on the edge of my beds, I can not do monocrop beds. I can have things that have multiple kinds of things growing in the middle. I can have warm crops like peppers, eggplant, but I can also have cool crops like lettuce, cabbage. Dried basil. The heads are seeds for next year. I'll let that fall and maybe come back. I already am finding we missed some peppers in our pepper gathering, thinking that we may have frost last night. There's always, you know, a couple that you miss that you don't realize when you find them because they're so camouflaged. Oh, here's another one right there. That's funny. Every time I plant one, there's earthworms that pop up to help me out. That's so funny. Found more serranos, just totally blended in here. Like hanging out in my Thai basil. Yeah, I didn't see that at all. And I even combed through here myself, that Thai basil. It's seen better days. Almost done here. Just moving my tags over so that I can plant this stuff. I don't even think this is gonna go all the way around this bed this time, and that's okay. It can just be partially around the bed. It still works. Yep, another worm. Oh, this is so fun. I wish you guys could see up close these worms and what they're doing. They are so cute. Okay. I think most of this, I'm going to put this here just to remind myself what type that I did, and then cover them up. I like to throw the papers in there. It's good for them. I'm just going to cover everything up. I'm not even going to water it in. Everything is so damp, and I'll just let the rain when it comes. We're only getting about 9 3/4 hour sunlight, so these are going to grow very slow, but I'm not worried because we can actually plant anywhere from the end of October till like start of February, so we've got plenty of time here. So we have done a lot, and there's so much I didn't get to share with you that I just forget to take out the camera and film, and I want to get better at that because even though it's winter around here, we live in California. We have an ability to garden some way year-round. We don't have zinnias year-round, but we do grow food. We do work on stuff indoors. I love to make more things when there are less daylight hours. And you can always hear my chickens in the background. Anyway, I hope to get a garden tour film for you guys before November's over, so be watching for that. Otherwise, thank you for joining me. Please hit the like button if you've made it this far, and leave a comment to let me know you were here and the type of content that you might enjoy seeing over the winter time. And I would like to try to take your feedback into consideration. I'll see you in the next video.